I did it. Even while making the thing, I was like, shit, I don't know, I'm not sure, man. I did it. Fucking did it. Let's go. Ik heb één puntje te weinig. Van de 28 kennisvragen had ik er 24 goed. Eentje te weinig. Dus dan moet ik nog een keer.
Oh man, oh wat kutkak. Jezus, dus, wat een gekijk. Echt. Oh, wat een geik. Maar ja, dat wil dus niet zeggen dat je het niet goed doet. Het is gewoon, dat is inderdaad...
Nou, dat wil wel zeggen dat ik het niet goed doe.
Nee, schat. Het is ook echt omdat ze het zo maken dat mensen... De meeste mensen slagen het in één keer.
Maar ik wel.
Niet.
Ja,
Wel.
natuurlijk wel. Ja! See this hand? This is the hand of a tired man. I just did my whole hand in my dinner. Nice. I am so tired. The driving lesson was like 2.5 hours long instead of the usual an hour and 45 minutes. Alright, it's time for bed. It's a little later because I went on Chat Roulette. It's this website where, I mean, you probably know it. But you talk to strangers and shit. I haven't really found a good place to go since Omegle shut down. But I just had for like maybe half an hour, a little longer. But yeah, it's definitely been an hour. I chat with a guy from Pakistan about Islam because he on his little profile picture he had like his muscle up. So I was like, "Hey, good on you, bro. Proud of you for working out so much, being consistent and everything." And he was like, "Nah, it's all God." And I was like, "What do you mean by that?" And dude just went on a whole spree of Islam talk. And so I had quite a lot of questions for him, but I could tell it's very easy to tell when people are actually connected with their religion or not based on how they always answer my questions. And I'm not asking in a way of like, "Huh, gotcha," or "Are you dumb, bro?" or whatever. It's like I find it genuinely interesting. And he so he was like Islamic and Islam, yeah. And I told him like if I've adopted a few things from Islam, or mindsets that have been inspired by Islam. And it was a very genuine and interesting conversation. But then his connection dropped. That's always, I fucking hate that about these video websites, calling things where you have such a good talk with someone and then suddenly it's just like, and they freeze and you're like, shit. Yeah, it sucks. But that was very interesting. I love talking about, different ideas, cultures, religion, especially, but only really with people that actually, practice what they preach or like participate in religion and maybe have their own takes on their own religion and their own experience and not just, oh, this is what I grew up with. That's never the answer, of course, but it's kind of easy to tell that sometimes. So yeah, that was very very cool. And so another thing I've been thinking about today is why I'm so anxious for driving a car. And it's, I think it has a lot to do with me, for like maybe 1.5 years now, 2 years, I've started to put some pressure on myself for the first time ever since, school and everything, since I stopped going to school and everything and didn't really try my best for things never, yeah. Um, what was I gonna say? So I put a lot of pressure on myself for to succeed in things that I try that I find scary to do, which can be a good thing, and it definitely made me try this stuff in the first place. And I believe a big part of that is also that I've gotten a lot more the opposite of insecure. I don't know. I guess my brain is fried from today. Such a stressed day. Yeah, confidence, self-confident. There you go. Jesus. So I've gotten a lot of self-confidence from proving to myself that I have control over my own actions by maintaining a certain sleep schedule or sticking to it, as close as possible. With exceptions like today, um, having a morning routine, sticking to it, having a meal plan, sticking to it. It's basically like no one but me tells me to do this stuff, and for the longest time, I didn't feel like I was in control of my life because I would tell everyone around me that I would be doing this and that by then and then, or I would do something once and tell everyone about it, and never really stuck to any routine or any didn't really have any damn, my brain is fried. Any discipline, like routine and all that. Damn, I'm really rambling. Shit. What I really wanted to talk about is that, building up these routines and everything has given me a lot of confidence in myself because I've proven to myself that I can do things that I say I'm gonna do. It's very feels very bad to set goals for yourself and not being able to do it, or at least for me, I sometimes I wonder if people even think about that or just ignore it, or I think most people just cope in some way. But to stay on the thing that I want to say is that has definitely helped, and then putting pressure on myself is the other part where um, I started my driver lessons because it was already for years. I was like, oh yeah, yeah, oh that, yeah, I'll probably next year, and then next year, oh yeah, 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 maybe this year, but maybe next year, I'll see. Yeah, yeah, yeah. And it's just because I don't know why, but I find it scary, and um, so but what I've discovered is that I think at this point the amount of pressure I put on myself is not working in my favor anymore. I think it's why I sweat like a whole t-shirt. Like it's just unwearable when I come home. I have to change t-shirts when I have my driver lesson because I get so like I get blackouts if I fuck up once just because I'm telling myself that I can't fuck up, and it's insanely exhausting. And I think these driver lessons have been the first time where I've come across the challenge of having to find balance and putting pressure on myself and accepting what's it called? Not, not perfectionism. I remember maybe like my sixth driving lesson driving session lesson. We were doing roundabouts for the first time after I learned, gas shifting and everything. I had to do it on my own, and we were going through a turn, and I couldn't really see very far into the turn, and at the time, roundabouts really, I got like a blackout from roundabouts because I was, it's like this pressure of you got to do it perfect and everything. It's yeah, again, it's exhausting. So we came up at this roundabout, and because I was so late to see it, I still had to, like, okay, so I got to check, I got to go slower, I got to gear down, and I was still like fiddling with the controls and everything because it was only like a few lessons in. And I remember just feeling so stressed of like, I got to do it right, that I just had a complete, like, I saw a car coming towards me, and I was just like, I slammed the brake, and I was like, bro, I can't even process what's going on right now. It's that bad, where it's just from the pressure I put on myself, and I definitely know where it's coming from. I was very quick to reconnect with putting pressure on myself and feeling the need to do everything on my own. It's definitely from when I was younger. When I was about 9, my parents did they ever get married? Yeah, I think they did. So they got divorced. I was gonna say they broke up, but yeah, I think they divorced. And maybe like a year after that, my dad, or 2 years or something, my dad got this new girlfriend, and suddenly he found that more interesting than me, and so, well, it's a whole nother story. Who knows if I ever make an actual structured video about that. But basically, I didn't see my dad for a while, like more than a year or something, and he put a lot of blame of, his things that were going wrong, and wrong between my parents at the time. Put a lot of the fault on me, an 11-year-old kid. And I shouldn't laugh about this shit, dude. Come on. I gotta catch myself. Sometimes I laugh just because I don't want to actually think about it for a little bit or feel the emotion. That's something I learned from my ex. Very thankful for that. I use that. I laugh again, dude. I use that as guidance now. It's like, if I start laughing about some emotional stuff, I should probably do something with it. But anyway, yeah, those were fucking some bad years where, up until that point, it makes, like, you don't even think about it as a kid as like, okay, I'm being taken care of by my parents, so they keep me alive, right? That's how you feel when you're young. And when suddenly half of that just suddenly is gone and it's all your fault, and you believe it, from that point on, that taught me that I shouldn't rely on people at all. Which, it's not really healthy. I also made myself believe that, I couldn't rely on my mom because, when suddenly one of your parents is just gone like that, pretty much, damn. Welcome to a therapy session. Jesus Christ, dude. Well, I mean, this is my diary after all. Basically, what was going through my mind and what I told myself is that, you know, you can't really rely on anyone. Also, not my mom, and a few things happened in the, you know, the years where I didn't see my dad and was just alone with my mom. That only reassured those thoughts, and you see that the light is on in the mall, or in the, what's it called, so I don't want my mom to hear this shit. I don't want anyone to hear this shit, really. I remember once I woke up, I think I was like 12 or something, and my mom was coming home kind of late from, I don't know what, probably the city or some, I don't know, party or event, whatever. I woke up because, you know, the doorbell was ringing, and apparently my mom lost her keys or couldn't find them or whatever, and she felt bad about having to wake me up. And she, you know, I didn't understand that at the time. I didn't even know what alcohol was really or what it does, but she drank quite a lot. And so she was in a very bad emotional state, and that really, you know, assured my thought of I can't rely on anyone. And so she told me that you know, she's sorry and it's her fault, but everything's gonna be all right. I don't know. She acted like the world was ending or something, and I was just so confused and everything. And when I told her I was just gonna go sleep, I woke up maybe half an hour later because I heard someone crying, and I wasn't really sure what I was hearing, so I went downstairs and oh, my light's turning off. It's from my old routine where it turns off when I'm supposed to sleep. Let me get a little light. How are we gonna do this? So I went downstairs and I found my mom laying on the ground, crying on the floor with a, what do you call that, kitchen towel roll, and it's just something that's still stuck in my, it's like a picture stuck in my brain or something. And I didn't understand what was going on, and I panicked and thought she was dying or something. And so, why am I even telling this in the first place? I'm really bad at getting to the point here, but from that point on, I basically taught myself that I should never rely on someone again, and that I should do everything on my own. And so I put the whole pressure of just being a kid, but being both of my parents on my own. Like, I felt like I should be my own dad, and later on it evolved into being like the father figure in a household as well. I remember talking about that with a therapist at some point when I was like 15 or 16, when, you know, due to some other reasons I had to go there, and it quickly, very briefly came up to the light where I had put so much pressure on myself, where this guy asked me, like, so what if a burglar, or what do you call it, someone that wants to break into your house is gonna, what if a burglar is in front of your house? Are you gonna open the door, or is your mom gonna do that? Now, your parents, of course, have a role to protect you, but I just sat in silence there because I was already imagining I had to open the door as a little kid, and only then realizing, like, oh yeah, that's probably not how it's supposed to be, and you know, basically from those kind of things, I started putting so much pressure on myself and couldn't even handle it, which is why I had so much trouble with school. And because it was like the thing, like, oh, you gotta finish school, right? And you could be like, oh yeah, sure, mom. And I just put so much pressure on myself that it got in the way and caused for so much fucking anxiety and shit. So I should just really finish up this whole whatever I'm even saying. For a while, I was only coping by never really taking a moment of silence, or even a minute, even a second, you know. I would go to school, come home, play video games, listen to music while falling asleep, because otherwise I couldn't fall asleep, and I just couldn't handle a second of silence, and that was all just coping, not wanting to even think about how I was really doing with all this stress I put on myself. And so for a lot of years, you know, I succeeded in completely coping until, well, that's where, you know, my self-improvement journey so far video would come in, when I started getting some actual motivation for feeling emotions and living life a little bit, improving myself maybe. And very quickly I got back into this old way of, you know, I can't just take things slow. I gotta feel this pressure to provide for me and also my mom. And yeah, well, anyway, I didn't really realize it, but this whole just driving lessons has turned into a very big emotional challenge, where I'm once again reminded of the pressure I put on myself without really realizing, and it always takes a little bit before I realize what I'm doing. So I definitely want to find a way to balance this whole thing out, because it's really killing. So yeah. Now I'm really wondering if I'm even going to post this online. I don't know. If I really want to stay true to the whole diary idea, I probably should. But this is the kind of shit I don't tell anyone because it's just. It hurts so much to think about it. Yeah. Alright, gotta stop now. Gotta shut the fuck up and just try to sleep. I'm sure tomorrow's video will be very different again. But for now, this is just what I really feel like I wanted to let this out, so there you go. So we're now half an hour later. And I've just been sitting in my chair thinking about a whole lot of things, and I'm definitely just gonna have this be the video for today, and I think it's about time that I was gonna say that I don't keep these kind of things for myself, but I don't even give myself the time and space to even think about these things. I think it's about time I try to do something again with these things from my past that bother me as I continue on this self-improvement path. I'm even like scared to go to sleep because maybe like half a year ago I tried to talk to my dad a little bit about everything that happened in the past, and it was really hard because it was like talking to a wall. I don't blame him, but my dad is like unable to express emotions and feel emotion and understand someone else's emotion. My mom told me that when I was little and I didn't understand it, but I understood that when I was at his place for dinner and there was some other reason why I wanted to bring it up, like, yeah, well, more and more I'm starting to notice how much bad shit I still have from this past of you, my dad, blaming me for all this shit and just leaving me. And I was sitting there crying, and my dad was just like, yeah, oh, yeah. I mean, he did say, like, yeah, you can just tell me, but it's like I was just, talking to a wall or something. Fucking sucked. So I tried some other stuff as well, writing down my thoughts, journaling. Had a talk with the coach that I used to go to when I was like 16, and I figured that since back then, that dude, you know, is just like he's not really a, what do you call that? Psychiatrist, psychologist. You don't sit in the room with this very serious dude. That guy, you go for a walk in the forest, and instead of telling you what to do, he makes you question your own actions by just asking you questions, and it's worked a lot better for me. But this time it didn't really do anything because I already self-analyze and, you know, self-critique so much. So, but what I wanted to say is that last time, like half a year ago, when I was like, I should, you know, try and deal with this shit. For the first time in a lot of years, started having a lot of nightmares again. I would wake up from nightmares from memories of the past and shit. Right now I'm just afraid that that's gonna happen again, but I don't know. So be it, I guess. I've caught myself planning my week so full that then I can tell myself, like, oh yeah, I know that this is something that I should do something about. Or just think about you, and I don't have to do anything about it. Just think about it, feel some fucking emotion a little bit. But then I would plan my week so full that I would tell myself, like, well, you know, I gotta perform and everything, so I can't really do it now. And yeah, maybe I should take some time every now and then to just think. I'm just gonna try and sleep now. Maybe watch some SpongeBob or something. I'm gonna go watch SpongeBob. Well, this will really be the end now. If anyone's even watching this, I bet it's kind of weird to put this kind of stuff on the internet, but I wanted these videos to be real, not just show, you know, the good parts of my life. And it wouldn't be real if I just, you know, this is like the main thing of today, I guess. And if I wouldn't put that in video. And you know what? Therapy is, well, one, it's like kind of doubtable, I believe, but even if I wanted to try, and it's so fucking expensive, I'm not even gonna pay, so. I mean, who needs therapy when you can just talk to a camera? It's a good video title. I'll call it that. So yeah, if anyone's even watching this, I hope maybe that me opening up and giving my best try at feeling some emotions can inspire you, maybe. I'm sure everyone has some stuff that you'd rather not think about from the past or something, or from maybe recent times. I advise you, do not hide your feelings. It's from that one song of X. I advise you, do not hide your... Oh, it's from his intro. I advise you to not hide your feelings. Don't pretend to be happy when you're sad. It'll only lead to your misery. I had that on repeat from those years when I wasn't doing good. Should have listened better. Should have applied that sooner. So yeah, I hope this helps someone in some way. It helps me. That's already making it worth it. I'm gonna go watch SpongeBob now. Goodbye.
I advise you not hide your feelings. Don't pretend to be okay when you're not okay. Don't pretend to be happy when you're sad. Don't lead to your misery.